Grandma's 18 tips to make food last as long as possible. Store leafy greens with a paper towel. Keep delicate leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, kale, and herbs crisp, and prevent them from becoming slimy for much longer. Action: as soon as you bring greens home, wash them thoroughly. A salad spinner is ideal for drying. Ensure they are completely dry. Line an airtight container, plastic or glass, or a large resealable plastic bag with a layer of dry paper towels. Gently place the clean, dry greens into the container/bag. Add another layer of paper towel on top if storing a large quantity. Seal the container or bag, removing excess air if using a bag. Store in the refrigerator's crisper drawer if available. The paper towels work by absorbing any residual moisture condensation that forms, preventing the leaves from sitting in water, which causes rapid decay and sliminess. The airtight container maintains humidity to prevent wilting. Check and replace the paper towels if they become very damp. This method can extend the life of leafy greens by several days, sometimes even a week or more. Don't wash berries until ready to eat. Preserve the delicate structure and prevent mold growth on fresh berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, by postponing washing until just before consumption. Berries have a naturally protective bloom and are highly susceptible to moisture, which encourages mold and accelerates spoilage. Action: when you purchase berries, inspect the container and remove any already moldy or damaged berries immediately to prevent spread. Store the unwashed berries in their original container, or transfer them gently to a breathable container, partially open or lined with paper towels, to allow some air circulation. Place them in the main compartment of the refrigerator, not the coldest spot. Only wash the amount of berries you intend to eat right before serving or using them. Rinse them gently under cool running water, and pat dry carefully with paper towels. Washing them earlier introduces excess moisture that significantly shortens their shelf life. By keeping them dry until the last moment, you maximize their freshness and minimize waste. Store potatoes and onions separately in cool, dark places. Extend the shelf life of both potatoes and onions by storing them correctly, separately, and away from light and moisture. Action for potatoes: store potatoes unwashed in a cool, dark, well-ventilated place like a pantry, cellar, or cabinet, away from heat sources. Use a basket, perforated bag, or cardboard box to allow air circulation. Do not store them in the refrigerator, as cold temperatures convert starches to sugars, affecting taste and texture, and potentially increasing acrylamide formation during cooking. Action for onions, also garlic: store whole, unpeeled onions and garlic similarly in a cool, dark, dry, well-ventilated place. A mesh bag or basket works well. Crucially, store onions separately from potatoes. Onions release ethylene gas, which causes potatoes to sprout and spoil faster. Potatoes release moisture, which can cause onions to soften and rot. Following these separate storage rules in appropriate environments significantly prolongs the usability of both staples. Keep tomatoes at room temperature until ripe. Preserve the flavor and texture of fresh tomatoes by storing them at room temperature, not in the refrigerator, at least until they are fully ripe. Refrigeration damages the membranes inside the tomato walls and halts the enzyme activity responsible for creating their characteristic flavor compounds. This results in a mealy texture and bland taste. Action: store whole, uncut tomatoes stem side down. Some say this prevents moisture loss on your kitchen counter, away from direct sunlight. Keep them in a single layer, not piled up, to prevent bruising. Allow underripe tomatoes to ripen fully at room temperature. The flavor will continue to develop. Once a tomato is perfectly ripe and you won't use it immediately, you can then store it in the refrigerator for a day or two to slow down further ripening and prevent spoilage, but let it return to room temperature before eating for best flavor. For optimal taste, room temperature storage is key for unripe and just ripe tomatoes. Wrap cheese tightly. Prevent hard cheeses from drying out and soft cheeses from absorbing odors or developing mold quickly by wrapping them properly after opening. Avoid using standard plastic cling wrap directly on the cheese surface for long-term storage, as it can trap moisture and affect flavor. Action for hard/semi-hard cheeses: cheddar, Swiss, Gouda. Wrap the cut cheese first in cheese paper, ideal, or alternatively, parchment paper or wax paper. This allows the cheese to breathe slightly while preventing moisture loss. Then, loosely wrap this package in plastic wrap or place it inside a resealable plastic bag. Action for soft cheeses. Brie Camembert blue cheese, often best stored in their original packaging if resealable. If not, wrap in cheese paper or parchment, then place in an airtight container to prevent strong odors from permeating other fridge items. Store wrapped cheese in the cheese drawer or a relatively warmer part of the fridge, often a vegetable drawer. Proper wrapping maintains the cheese's intended moisture level, texture, and flavor for much longer, reducing waste. Store flour and grains in airtight containers. Protect flour, rice, oats, pasta, and other whole or processed grains from moisture and absorbing unwanted odors by transferring them from their original paper or plastic bags into airtight containers. Paper and thin plastic bags offer little protection once opened. Action. Purchase sturdy, food-grade airtight containers made of glass, hard plastic, or metal with secure sealing lids. Immediately upon opening a new package of flour or grains, pour the contents into a clean, dry, airtight container. Ensure the lid seals tightly. Label the container with the contents and optionally the purchase date or best by date. Store these containers in a cool, dark, dry pantry or cupboard. This airtight environment prevents moisture absorption, which leads to clumping and spoilage, blocks access for pests, and stops the grains from picking up strong smells from nearby spices or foods. For whole grains or whole wheat flour, which contain oils that can go rancid, consider storing them in the refrigerator or freezer in airtight containers for even longer shelf life. Store fresh herbs like cut flowers or wrapped. Extend the life of fresh, tender herbs like parsley, cilantro, coriander, mint, and basil, which tend to wilt quickly. Method 1. Like flowers, best for parsley, cilantro, mint. Trim the stem, then slightly. Place the herb bunch upright in a glass or jar containing about an inch of fresh water similar to a bouquet of flowers. Loosely cover the leaves with a plastic bag, like a produce bag, creating a mini greenhouse, and secure it around the jar rim with a rubber band or just let it drape. Store this herb bouquet in the main compartment of the refrigerator. Change the water every couple of days. Method 2. Wrapped, best for basil or when fridge space is tight. Wash and gently but thoroughly dry the herbs. Lay them on a slightly damp, not wet, paper towel. Loosely roll the herbs and paper towel together. Place this roll inside a resealable plastic bag or airtight container. Store in the refrigerator, often in the crisper drawer. Basil is sensitive to cold. Some prefer storing it at room temp using method 1, but away from direct sun. These methods maintain hydration and prevent wilting significantly longer than leaving herbs in their original packaging. Preserve cut onions and avocados properly. Prevent cut onions from drying out or imparting strong odors and slow the browning of cut avocados. For cut onions, store leftover chopped or sliced onions in an airtight glass or sturdy plastic container in the refrigerator. Glass is preferred as it doesn't absorb odors like some plastics. This contains the potent smell and keeps the onion relatively fresh for several days. Alternatively, wrap tightly in plastic wrap, then place in a resealable bag. For cut avocados, oxidation causes browning. To slow this, minimize air exposure on the cut surface. Leave the pit in the remaining avocado half if possible. Brush the cut surface lightly with lemon juice, lime juice, or olive oil. The acid/oil creates a barrier. Wrap the avocado half tightly in plastic wrap, pressing the wrap directly against the cut surface to eliminate air pockets. Alternatively, place cut side down in a shallow dish with a thin layer of water, or store with a cut onion. Sulfur compounds inhibit browning in an airtight container in the fridge. Use within a day or two for best results. Keep butter covered in the fridge. Protect butter from absorbing strong odors from other foods in the refrigerator and prevent its surface from drying out or developing off flavors. Butter, being high in fat, readily absorbs smells from nearby items like onions, garlic, or strongly scented leftovers. Action. Always store butter in its original wrapper if possible, folding the ends over tightly after each use. Place the wrapped butter inside a covered butter dish, ceramic, glass, or plastic, or a small airtight container. Store this container in the main compartment of the refrigerator, not typically in the door's butter compartment, as the main area maintains a more consistent, colder temperature ideal for extending butter's shelf life. Avoid leaving butter unwrapped or exposed on a plate in the fridge. Proper covering ensures the butter maintains its fresh flavor and creamy texture for longer, preventing waste and ensuring it tastes as intended when used in cooking or as a spread. Rotate pantry stock using FIFO. Minimize food waste and ensure you're using older pantry items before they expire by implementing the first in, first out FIFO principle. This means using the items you bought first before using newly purchased ones. Action. When you buy new pantry staples, canned goods, pasta, rice, sauces, etc., take a moment during unloading groceries to place the new items behind the existing items of the same type on your pantry shelves or in cupboards. Bring the older items to the front where they are easily seen and accessed first. Check expiration or best buy dates as you rotate. Make it a habit to grab the item from the front of the shelf when you need it. This systematic rotation ensures that older stock gets used up promptly, reducing the chance of finding long-expired items hidden at the back and ultimately saving money by preventing spoilage and waste. Keep your pantry organized to make this process easier to maintain consistently. Store bread properly. Room temp or freezer. Keep crusty artisan bread or soft sandwich bread fresh for longer using the appropriate storage method based on how quickly you'll eat it. For short term, 1 to 3 days, store bread at room temperature, ideally in its original packaging, if suitable, a paper bag, best for crusty bread to maintain crust, or a bread box. Avoid plastic bags for crusty bread as they trap moisture and soften the crust quickly. Keep it away from direct sunlight and heat. Do not store bread in the refrigerator. Refrigeration actually speeds up the staling process, starch retrogradation, making bread tough and dry faster than room temperature storage. For long-term storage, if you won't eat the bread within a few days, freezing is the best option. Slice the bread first if desired for convenience. Wrap the loaf or slices tightly in plastic wrap, followed by a layer of aluminum foil, or place in a heavy-duty freezer bag, squeezing out excess air. Freeze for up to 2 to 3 months. Thaw slices as needed at room temperature, in a toaster, or briefly in the oven. Freezing halts staling effectively. Store nuts and seeds in the fridge or freezer. Prevent nuts and seeds, especially those high in oils like walnuts, pecans, flax seeds, chia seeds, from going rancid quickly by storing them in a cool environment. The natural oils in nuts and seeds are prone to oxidation when exposed to heat, light, and air, leading to unpleasant off flavors and smells. While storing small amounts for immediate use in an airtight container in a cool, dark pantry is okay for a short period, refrigeration or freezing significantly extends their shelf life. Action. Transfer nuts and seeds from their original packaging into airtight containers. Glass jars or heavy-duty plastic containers work well, or resealable freezer bags. Store these containers in the main compartment of your refrigerator for medium-term storage, several months. For long-term storage, up to a year or more, place the airtight containers or bags in the freezer. The cold temperatures drastically slow down the oxidation process, keeping the nuts and seeds fresh and preserving their flavor and nutritional value for much longer. Cool leftovers quickly before refrigerating. Prevent bacterial growth and protect other foods in your refrigerator by cooling cooked leftovers rapidly before storing them. Placing large quantities of hot food directly into the fridge can raise the internal temperature, potentially putting other foods into the temperature danger zone, 4 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, or 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, where bacteria thrive. It also makes the fridge work harder. Action. Don't leave cooked food sitting out at room temperature for more than 2 hours, or 1 hour if the ambient temperature is very hot, like above 32 degrees Celsius / 90 degrees Fahrenheit. To cool large batches quickly, like soups, stews, or roasts, divide them into smaller, shallower containers. This increases the surface area, allowing heat to dissipate faster. You can also place containers in an ice water bath, a larger bowl filled with ice and water, and stir occasionally to speed up cooling. Once the leftovers are cooled down significantly, lukewarm or close to room temp, cover them tightly and place them in the refrigerator promptly. Store leftovers in airtight containers. Maintain the quality, prevent drying out, and avoid odor transfer between foods by storing cooked leftovers in appropriate airtight containers in the refrigerator. Leaving leftovers uncovered or poorly covered allows them to lose moisture, absorb smells from other items, and potentially become contaminated. Action. Once leftovers have cooled sufficiently, see previous tip, transfer them into clean, airtight containers. Choose container sizes appropriate for the amount of food to minimize excess air. Glass containers are excellent as they don't stain or absorb odors, are often microwave/oven safe, and allow easy visibility. Sturdy plastic containers with tight-fitting lids are also suitable. Ensure the lids seal completely. Avoid storing leftovers long-term in porous containers or simply covered loosely with foil or plastic wrap, as these don't provide an adequate barrier against air and odors. Proper airtight storage keeps leftovers fresher for longer, typically 3 to 4 days in the fridge, and helps maintain an organized, odor-free refrigerator environment. Keep your refrigerator organized, reduce food spoilage, and make meal prep easier by maintaining an organized refrigerator. A cluttered fridge makes it hard to see what you have, leading to forgotten items spoiling at the back. Action: designate specific zones for different food types. Store raw meat on the bottom shelf, as per tip 16. Keep dairy and eggs in the colder main section. Use crisper drawers appropriately for fruits and vegetables. Adjust humidity settings if available. Place ready-to-eat foods and leftovers on upper shelves where they are easily visible. Use clear containers or bins to group similar items together, e.g., yogurts, condiments, snacks. Implement the FIFO principle, first in, first out, within these zones. Place newer items behind older ones. Regularly take stock of what's inside before grocery shopping to avoid buying duplicates. An organized system allows for better airflow, improving efficiency, and ensures you can easily see and access food before it goes bad, minimizing waste and saving you from repurchasing forgotten items. Separate ethylene-producing fruits from sensitive produce. Prevent premature ripening and spoilage of certain fruits and vegetables by storing high ethylene-producing items separately from ethylene-sensitive ones. Ethylene is a natural plant hormone gas that accelerates ripening. High producers include apples, bananas, especially ripe ones, avocados, tomatoes, peaches, pears, and melons. Ethylene-sensitive produce includes leafy greens, broccoli, carrots, cucumbers, asparagus, and berries. Action: designate separate storage areas. Keep apples, ripe bananas, and tomatoes on the counter away from other produce, or store them in separate drawers or containers in the refrigerator if chilling is appropriate. Do not store potatoes and onions together, as onions release ethylene that spoils potatoes, and potatoes release moisture that spoils onions. Store leafy greens and broccoli far from apples or bananas in the fridge. By isolating the ethylene sources, you slow down the ripening and decay process of sensitive items, significantly extending their freshness and usable life, reducing food waste. Clean your refrigerator regularly, maintain food safety, prevent odors, and improve efficiency by cleaning your refrigerator thoroughly on a regular basis, e.g., every 1 to 3 months. Spills, crumbs, and hidden spoiled items can harbor bacteria and mold, creating unpleasant smells and potentially contaminating other foods. Action: empty one section or shelf at a time. Remove drawers and shelves if possible, for easier cleaning. Wash removable parts and the interior surfaces with warm, soapy water or a solution of water and baking soda, a natural deodorizer, or mild detergent. Avoid harsh abrasive cleaners. Rinse thoroughly with clean water and dry completely with a soft cloth before returning food. While cleaning, discard any expired or spoiled items. Wipe down sticky jars and containers. Check and clean door seals, gaskets as well. A clean refrigerator operates slightly more efficiently. Clean surfaces reflect cold better and provides a hygienic environment for your food, preventing cross-contamination and ensuring stored items stay fresh and safe for longer. Revive wilted greens with an ice bath. Bring slightly wilted, but not slimy or spoiled, leafy greens or herbs back to life with a quick ice water shock treatment. This works well for lettuce, spinach, kale, parsley, cilantro, etc. that have lost some moisture and turgidity. Action: fill a large bowl or basin with very cold water and add plenty of ice cubes. Submerge the wilted greens completely in the ice bath. Ensure all leaves are underwater. Let them soak for about 15 to 30 minutes. The cold water rehydrates the plant cells through osmosis, restoring crispness and structure. You should see the leaves perk up noticeably. After soaking, remove the greens from the ice bath. Drain them well. Use a salad spinner for optimal drying, or gently pat them dry with clean kitchen towels or paper towels. Use the revived greens immediately or store them properly, like wrapped with a paper towel in an airtight container, for use shortly thereafter. This simple trick can salvage greens that look slightly past their prime, reducing food waste. Thank you for watching this video on Stories with Justin. I hope you found these food storage tips genuinely useful and practical for your everyday life. If these hacks were helpful and you'd appreciate more content like this, tips, tricks, and interesting stories, please consider hitting that subscribe button below. It's the best way to stay updated and ensures you won't miss out on future valuable information. A like also helps others discover these tips. Thanks again for your time and support. Is there anything specific about that content that you would like to discuss?